My first stop in Florida was to Gainesville to check out the Devil's Mill Hopper. Basically, it's just a very deep sinkhole, and it's been around for hundreds of years. And they called it a mill hopper because it has a creek flowing down it that resembles how a mill hopper would work. I'm wandering around the nature trail around the top of the Devil's Mill Hopper in Florida. And it feels like I'm just wandering around lost in a jungle because of all the, all the, jungle. On my way down to southern Florida, I stopped by Casadega, which is an entire town of spiritualists, to have my fortune told, because an entire town of psychics seems like the place to go to do that. I made my way down to the Everglades, and it was during the dry season, so all this grassland during the wet season is just swampy area. I was able to see some alligators live, up close and personal. There was one that was very aggressive and one that was just pretty laid back. But there was a hostel in Miami that takes people out for kayak tours, and that was pretty fun. Got to go out onto the Everglades and go through the mangroves. The tour guide gave us some information about the Everglades, and everybody survived and made it back. I didn't take too many pictures or video while I was out on the kayak because I was kind of unstable and I was worried about dropping my phone in the water, so unfortunately I didn't get too many pictures or video. My final stop in Florida was to see the Coral Castle in Homestead. So I'm here at Coral Castle, and it was all built by one man. This little guy here. He was only like 5 foot tall and 100 pounds, and he made this all by himself. The Coral Castle was built between 1923 and 1951 by a single man named Edward Leedskalnin, and he was a Latvian immigrant. And as the story goes, he built this as a sign of his love for the girl who left him at the altar in Latvia. He built it all by himself, just using tools and systems of pulleys. His family had been stone workers, so he knew how to work with large chunks of rock like this. So he would use 1, 2, or sometimes 3 pulleys to lift up to 30 tons worth of stone that he had cut out of the ground in the surrounding area. And he would cut it out to how he wanted it, use the pulleys to move it into position, and then use the pulleys to lift it up into place. And from there they were heavy enough that he could just cement them together and they would stay. He did end up living on his own and dying on his own, but he would let people take tours of the Coral Castle up until he died. There has been a lot of speculation as to how he built it, and a lot of people have said that he used some kind of magic, or defied gravity, or that there were somehow aliens involved. But the truth is that he just built this all on his own, which in my mind is a much more impressive feat.